to my colleagues. We really appreciate seeing you again. There is somebody that you don't even know that is working with me. He's Engineer Shalom. He has always made it a day with me, but he doesn't like being in the camera. I'm so sorry introducing you, Engineer Shalom, but I just have to. We appreciate your presence, and you came very early, so we can't pay for that, but we can just appreciate it. Thank you so much. Some of our senior colleagues sent in their regards, and they also added few advice. So we're going to be playing some of them before we actually start for the day. So we're playing the first one. It's a surprise. So kindly watch as we play.
My name is Stephen Aluko of Starlight Media Institute. Happy New Year to you all. As we journey into the new year, we must all honestly resolve to have a positive outlook, not involving further self, but to help others, listen to, and appreciate quality sound output through active auditory perception. To be a lifelong learner through continuous professional development training, seminars, and workshops. Have a good relationship skill and a mature perspective to professional audio engineering practices. We must always endeavor to help others succeed and also determined to become an excellent audio engineer. Be inspired to aspire and always find your inspirations. Thanks and God bless. Happy New Year.
School in Nigeria. That's Engineer Alukolo. He owns an SMI school in Nigeria. I know some of you know him very well, so he's a common face in the industry. We're going to play another person. Yeah.
Good day, everyone. You are welcome to 2026. You are all welcome. Start up again, 2026. A little tip to the upcoming audio engineers. Please, let's master the basics before, chasing the gear. Let's try and master the basics before chasing the gear. And good sound does not come from expensive equipment. A lot of people think, when I have DW, when I have montage, when I have, I'm using maybe CL5 or DM, Yamaha, using the, blah, 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 and from there, I can have a good sound. No. The major tip of it is your game structure. It's very important. Game structure. Very, very important. And let's try and understand our EQ, equalization, before applying any effect. A lot of people will just jump on the board and they are not even, no filter, nothing on their, whether instrument or mics that they are mixing on, they will quickly jump to the effect section and start picking. Please, very important. Let's understand our equalization and let's, we done on that. Sound check, very important. Some people will some musician will be like, well, I know him, he's a very good engineer, blah, 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 blah. We don't need to do any sound check. We don't need to do anything, sort us out. Please, if we need to force them, let's force them. If we need to beg, let's beg them. Very important, let's do. And let's try and protect our hair. Very important. Let's try and protect our hair. Some people normally plug in AirPod 24 hours into their hair. Please. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Let's try and protect our hair and let's have the rest of the hair. Partake to our body also. Let's try and rest very well. Because by the time you rest, refreshing back, you're going to get a good listening here, good mind. Please, let's be humble. Let's be humble. Please, let's be humble and let's be reliable. Let's have integrity. Very important. Let's have integrity. Always ready to learn more. 2026, always ready to learn more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's Sam Waters. I know some of us also recognize him. He's also a voice in the industry. He has trained a whole lot of some of the guys that we are looking up to now. He has also rented equipment when some of these sound guys that are now big sound guys in the industry. He has also rented equipment to them at a very minimal amount. So he's somebody that most people is somebody that most people have not come out to appreciate, and which I don't know why. But he has really helped a whole lot of people in the industry. I also learned one of the things I also know was that there was this particular time that guys that are already having lots of equipment in the industry, vendors, top-notch industry vendors, had to go to him when they were starting up, and he was giving out his equipment to them like no matter the quantity they wanted. He was giving it out like 100,000, even lesser than 100,000. And he has also trained a whole lot of engineers in the industry. So he also came out and he also deserves a recognition in my program. Sam Waters, a great brother indeed. We have another person too. So we're going to place the next person. Thank
Hey,
you.
distinguished colleagues, happy 2026. This is just me to encourage you guys in this 2026 that is going to be a good year. It's another year, that is our own. A lot of things are, piled up for us in this new year. We sound engineers, what we don't know is that this career path that we've chosen is actually the best. There will be ups and downs, I just want to let you know that, when those ups and downs come, please don't feel discouraged. Stay sharp, stay self-developed, stay intact, and ask, just mingle, let's mingle, let's go to each other's events, let's encourage one another, let's ask questions, and then let's build each other. Have a beautiful year 2026, and then whenever we see, it's definitely going to be, an impactful time. Cheers.
That's another interesting person. I know some of you know him. That's a House on the Rock HOD. Ebenezer, I call him Engineer Ebenezer Odunlami. I famously call him Ebase. I don't know, maybe any other person calls him Ebase. I call him Ebase. He's a fantastic guy also in the industry. One of the things he encouraged that let's go to each other's program. Because in the process, we sharpen one another. Nobody is an island. So we should be able to mingle. In the process of mingling, he has an open arms. I remember House on the Rock, the experience, it was the HOD for that program too. The experience at Lagos, the experience we witnessed December period. And he allowed me to bring I think 5 volunteers to the event, which each one of them are very grateful for the opportunity, for the exposure. He has this warm ability to accept people, to pull people together, and he has this way of dishing out his knowledge. So I appreciate you, Ebenezer, Engineer Ebenezer, formerly, as in people call him Ebase. Thank you so much. Now we are back to today's class, talking about structures and tools that is required for a sound engineer in Nigeria. Most of us have our structures. How many times have we adhered to our structures? Have we really? It's just like structure sometimes to engineers are like a resolution. Like, oh, this year I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. When you did not do the one of 2025, what is the outcome at the end of 2025 December? Were you able to get the results that you estimated at the end of 2025? 2026, we are in 2026 again. It's an opportunity to get it done. Don't let's always say that there is always time to do things. There is always time to do it, but each year is counting on our age. And this industry, another set of sound engineers are going to arise, whether you like it or not. You can't hoard knowledge. But you yourself must also have way that you also intend to advance, way that some milestones you want to cover. We are here to discuss that. So I'm going to be introducing again and again. It's no longer undisclosed. Now we have a disclosed senior colleague because, Mr. Benjamin, I already have him on ground. Mr. Wale Benjamin in the house. I cannot begin to read his biography. I've known him right from when like in the middle of my training, I've known him. I know he has worked in a mix with some other people. I know he has worked in some other sector. And let me introduce to you again, Mr. Wale Benjamin of Nigeria and of the entire global world. I present to you again, please. The way we clap, the way we clap, the way we clap, the way we clap, as our virtual clapping. So, yes, Mr.
I'm still going.
Benjamin, to you
Uh,
guys. Thank you very much.
okay. Hello, everybody. How do you
Hello, sir.
do? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, any part of the world you are. I thanks Debbie for what you are doing. She gave me a very Herculean task. What we want to discuss is not something you can get inside book. It's not something that you can just easily get an AI to give you a result about. You know, she was talking about required structure. We are going to deal with something personal, like your framework. For example, now, what makes you who you are? What makes you different from this person? That has to do with your sense of individuality, your core essence of who you are. That's the structure we are talking about. We are not talking about a framework, a organizational goal, or a mission statement. This has to do with your sense of individuality, that has to do with structure. That's what we are looking at. When it comes to tools, we are not talking about this. This is a sound tools by Devrat to check your XLR connector remotely. We are not talking about this is very common. I remember those days when I started. Everybody is running away from this soldering. I love it a lot. I used soldering to pay my first tuition fee in Yabatech in 1998. My parents are pensioner, but we are not talking about these tools. There's another tools that is very common that can disgrace you anywhere in the world. I won't mention the name, but let me just give you the hint. Who know this? Hey, you get to some the other brands are also looking at where you can have the smaller one to plug it in. Oh, then another tool that guys don't, you must always go with this. We are not discussing all this. Now, if you have a pen and biro, we can just look at the required structure you need is how to build relationship. Because why? People value relationship. I want us to look at this topic in two dimensions. You know, if you are talking about sound, sound is a three-dimensional thing. X, Y, Z. Don't let us go deep into that, or we'll be discussing Fourier transform or quantum physics. But what we are looking at is, let's look at it from the biblical way, point of view. When Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, they needed to cross the river, and the river parted in two. Now, we are taking our topic, require structure, in two ways, which is now, when it comes to skill, most Christians always have this scripture immediately. I remember growing up those days in Sunday school. Seest thou a man diligent in his work? He will stand before king, not before men, because your skills will show you who you are. Just like Joseph in the Bible, he's gifted in dreams, and that dreams bring him out shining. Now, your skill factor is one, your relationship factor is second. Now, where we are lacking mostly, because we are discussing Nigeria, my first experience of working with the white people, I'm saying white because of the knowledge of information they have in pro audio. And we've been black because we are not having access to information. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a racist in that way. I did a training from a professor in Ife, Professor Lagos Ashono. That's my mentor. He's still alive. He's still kicking well. He's the pioneer of Living Spring, which is the annual Christian music festival that has been running for over 35 years. Now, he trained us. My second mentor, Mr. Dioye Ojenride, Pro Solid View, representative of RCF, was the one that now took us on the practical. Now, our first outing after that training was very, very something beyond our scope. I don't know if anybody has heard about Lekki 98. Lekki 98, according to Guinness Book of Record, is still the largest gathering of Christians globally. And working with the white, with new gears, and you are in the sun by the beach, setting up all the theories you have known, trying to practicalize such. There was one key thing I noticed. Relationship is a currency. How the organization, the Redeemed Church, were able to harness the best sound company in the world. That company is the one that does sound for Michael Jackson, that does for this guy. I'll try to remember his name. He's a blind guy. He's very good. I'll try to remember. Who can remember me? He's a blind pianist, a musician. God bless you. God bless you, Stevie Wonders. Yeah, that was King Green. King Green is the very largest company in UK. Yeah, no more. KingGreen.co.uk. Kane. That was the first equipment Redeem bought were from King Green, which introduced them to EAW. Now, why am I saying this? Somebody was just in between. I want to share this. Somebody released an information 2 days ago or 3 days ago on Facebook. You can still Google it. The relationship is between Sonny Baggy, Pastor Paul Adefarasi, and this our Nigerian guy. What's his name? Trying to remember his name. Please, I want to sing his song. If you can remember, I have a brain block of his name. Pampa me, Esedili, surprising me. What's that guy's name? Who can remember that guy that sang that? He married a Ghanaian lady. I'll try to remember his name as we're going. Now, Pastor Defaraxin requested, yeah, Moses Bliss. God bless you, Moses Bliss. Pastor Defaraxin was just chatting with Sonny Badu, and he requested for a young person that can sing, that can do this, that can do that. And Sonny Badu mentioned Moses Bliss. Moses Bliss was releasing song, but nobody really knows him to that extent. But what am I bringing up from there? After 4 years, Moses Bliss was on the platform of experience singing. Now, let's go deep into what we are discussing today. I said we have two parts, which has to do your relationship factor and also your skill factor. Now, why are we talking about relationship as a required structure? Because people value relationship. Then your skill are key. But I will say this, but not king. Because what you maintain your skill over time is your attitude, your character. I've seen many guys at the point of their life that they need to go to the next level in their career. The character becomes questionable. I remember Mr. Sam was saying something earlier about being honest. How many of us are trustworthy? How many of us can they say, this person is who he is? Now, let's go down on the issue of, I want to discuss 4 topics, subtopics under that, which is number 1, we are looking at mutual respect. Number 2, make connection. Number 3, establish trust. Number 4, personnel. I will just put some nuggets. Then I can share some personal experience that has been with me. Then we can go on from there. Now, doing the right thing in the right place at the right time with the right skill. That's what we are talking about, that mutual respect. Now, there are some things that you cannot push away as an engineer. Now, see your job as an engineer as a shoe shiner. You are the one that polish, have you? Because what you are dealing with as an engineer, you are dealing with what we call a program source that can come from your guitar lines, your sampler pad, from the artistic expression of that particular person. And as an engineer, you understand the word sonic signature. One of the elder mentioned something earlier about gain stage. I know it's a basic thing everybody needs to go through, gain structure. But what really matters is that you are going to shine what the artist, the musician, are producing for you. Now, I will call them celebrity musician. They are rubbish in, they are rubbish out. Like one person was trying to say, don't worry about Soundcheck. Just do it, you will do it. Try and encourage them to do Soundcheck because Soundcheck shows that you value people. Let's discuss that. Now, then one elderly to say something. It is not until when you have montage, you have the DB technology, or you have the AW, or you have the Digico, until you get the best sound. No. Great products can also be modified. Now, incapable, unskilled, unprepared engineer. Therefore, preparation is a form of what? Respect. Let me tell you one of the cross that have built me over time. If I'm lying, somebody can bear me a witness. Engineer must be the first to get to the venue, Rabbi. You will be the last to leave. Musician will be serving food, they'll be eating food, they will not consider you. By the time you finish, you are so famished. And by the time you get late home at night, that's when you are now eating one fufu, one amala, so that you can, so at the later on, you begin to have pot belly. Sorry, it's our cross. But what am I going out is that preparation is also a form of respect. Show that you value other people's time. For example, now, I noticed that in Nigeria, it's very common enough. Musicians are very saucy, they are very arrogant, and they don't really value people's time. As an engineer, get there on time. Don't let them be calling you, where are you? I'm still in the traffic. It's not a good thing because you can't build relationship with that over time. Now, engineer setup, band punctuality, band might not arrive on time, but there's one thing that I like along the line that I learned. The best governor in Lagos State for me so far, according to history, is late Alhaji Lateef Jakonde. The other person that can fit into that shoe again is Raji Fashola. Why did Fashola able to open Lagos and restructure things? Because he has one motto: be prepared. And he's a Boy Scout. Now, let's talk about on mutual respect. We're also talking about foundation. Engineer is the first in, that I said, and you are the last out of the venue. Another thing is to schedule. That's on mutual respect. Let's also discuss fast. I don't know what time I have. Let's talk about making connections. This is the foundation upon which all your future communication depends. Now, the first contact is often crucial. You need to be addressed the way you want to be addressed. Very vital. I remember attending a seminar during the COVID, and one guy said, most engineers, they always look very dirty. At least if you have an overall and you want to do dirty job, you have an hand gloves. At least have a body spray around you, because whether you have not brushed your teeth in the morning and you have to set, at least always have chewing gum around you, because you don't know who's going to call you at one point to ask the question, and the person will look at you this way and just say, "Wow," and no. Do you know that you have created that in that person's image first time? Please let us build on this. It has to do with personal habits too. That goes a long way. Chewing gum is not expensive. Even chewing gum is not expensive. Crying out loud. A body spray deodorant is not expensive. And first impression, they say, count. Now, let's also look at your first contact, which is crucial. You are building rapport. You are also building, you can also build on existing relationship. Now, this is where we have issue as Nigeria. For example, if I have worked with a British council on a project and I'm not around, it will be difficult for we Nigerians to call another friend to go and represent you on another brief. Because the person motive is to go there to destroy you and spoil your own image and take over the job from you. And that is common as a Nigerian. That is not competition. Unlike the Japanese that like divide and rule. The weakness of this is known. How can you improve on your weakness? How can you develop on this? Now, for Nigerians, I guess we need to change that attitude. There's nothing bad for me to recommend somebody. I'm not around, I'm not in the country, but I have somebody that can get the job done. And your own is just to go and make sure that you do the job excellently well. And let me tell you something, when you try and do bad thing in getting somebody's job or to spoil a person's reputation, is a seed, you have sown it. You will reap it. It's a matter of time. All right? Please, let us build on existing relationship. Now, let's see people, not equipment. I learned this from Mark Oshaw. I consulted for him in 2018. Wonderful guy. He sees his crew as people. Imagine you organizing a meal for the whole crew. Let's eat together from the same pot. Let's pray from the same pot. Oh yeah, what is your shortcoming? Everybody discuss it. You know, some companies will see human being as an equipment. Why did I say so? They know you are going to set up all night. You have an event. You are going to travel. They will not make everything conducive. Even book an hotel for you to just to go and shower or sleep. But because they see you as an equipment, I mean, you know this, you know that. You leave it there, you still meet it there. Please, let us work on this. Let's see people, not equipment. Now, speaking the language of tech, that has to do with don't assume. You understand? Because the person you are discussing with, you don't know where it's coming from. I will share a personal experience with you. The first time I met the Sure representative in charge of Middle East Africa, we met at Ikoyi. There was a gig going on. And I was sharing some information technically, what they need to do to solve the problem. The guy was just listening to me. You know that the later on, the guy had to get me a drink and said, I have to discuss with you. We later became friends. Since then, I guess he's the one in charge of Sure that has to do with Middle East Africa, the head now. Now, that means that speak the language of tech, mutual understanding of the needs and requirements, then paying attention, which is constantly. We are talking about catching an engineer's attention. Now, for example, you need to pay attention. I've seen many guys and they have ruined their career. In the studio, it's more worse when you're not paying attention and a track is going on. Debby can actually share his own experience in the days of read to real. When you make a mistake, it is basic. Serious
It's
basic.
all done.
In the days of, I mean,
Yes, sir.
in the days
You
of,
can't.
yeah, in the days, yeah, let us share your,
I trained early.
yeah,
You can't undo it. It is done and it is done. You
yeah,
can't undo it.
yeah,
So that's just one
yeah,
thing about the real to real.
yeah,
That's just one of the
yeah,
experiments, though. So you can continue, sir.
exactly. And because of that,
Yeah.
they released a dat, and the
Yeah.
dat later came out, and it was really epic. But imagine you have to use a sellotape, just do it normally do a normal cassette. You have to now cut and now join at the exact point and begins to play. But in live sound, you can be forgiving. But for me, an engineer needs to pay attention to your stage, to your artist. Moreover, you need to pay attention to the show promoter because those are the ones that will give you the next job. Those are the ones that can spoil your PR, your public relation in the industry. You need to pay attention to the stage manager, the production manager. It's not that nowadays many guys are on their phone and show is going on. You need to pay attention, please. Pay attention. Pay attention very constantly. It can mark you and it can dismark you. That's on communication. Now, let me quickly just round up on making communication. Then you help the performance by helping. You help the performance by helping the performer. Enable the cause. Now, enable the main cause, not your own personal agenda. Let me say this. Gone are the days when they will call us for a gig and we are using an equipment we don't know in our life before. At least one of those things I used to carry along with me is my PC that has a DB9, which is RS232, and a DSP, 4 in, 8 out. So that no matter the system, I've already tuned the system already on my PC. I really know what I want to do. But now it's easier because you can just look at the manufacturer, go to the website, download the thing and load it upon the system. Even if you are using a complex system like Mia Sound, you can download the map online anywhere you are in the world and you have it in real time. If it is EAW resolution, somebody have done a Guinness focusing and you have access to those DSP settings, it makes life easy. Now, I'm talking from in the area that you must carry a DSP along with you. At least if you cannot afford the DSP, is to buy the DBX compressor that can do two stereo in. So that from your analog desk of those days, you need to compress your system, you need to get the system going. You understand? But most times, you don't run your own personal agenda. At least understand what is your main brief that you are engaged upon. It gives you a clear details on what you want to achieve. Because people will pay politics with you and bring in an engineer to show that this guy doesn't know how to do work. But mind you, your purpose is to make sure that the audience are happy and the person that will pay your bills is happy. That's why. Now, I will also say this, ending on making connection. I call it SPOC, single point of contact. But a double carry away, which is a music director and also the engineer liaison or the stage manager that is involved. You need to make sure that the kind of single point contact you have is the same. I've been in a situation that the music director have a different thing entirely on what you want me to do. And the person that will pay my bill, that invited me to the church, that is buying the equipment, has something else again he wants to do. And then later on, you'll be so confused on which decision to take. That's why it's always good to have a single point of contact. Marry them together to make them understand that this is what the engineering can do by saying the truth, by being honest, and let them realize that this is the best way you can achieve what you want to achieve. Now, before time run out, let me just go to number 3, which is, I think, establish trust before we talk on personal. Now, establish trust. Most Nigerians, we find it difficult in this particular structure of trust. For example, I can only trust you if over time I've seen your capacity. I've tested you concerning money. I've tested you concerning position. I've tested you in the area of women. I can just say, no, this guy is okay. This guy is good. You understand? Now, based on those 3 preferences, which also psychologically will reveal a true man character. Until you start cutting millions, you will know whether you are a giver or you are this. Until you are given a position to the extent that those people that you call Oga are the one now say, you are the one they call to come and inspect my job. Humility comes from there. Now, on that area of trust, which is very key, it is like an unspoken agreement. Unperformed handshake, but very real. I want to repeat that again. It is like an unspoken agreement. Unperformed handshake, but very real. I will share this. It's a personal experience with me, with the chairman on the appropriation budget of Nigeria. He had an event in his hometown, and he had been having sound problem. And on that brief, I didn't make profit. Reason that is that I have a bigger stadium, and I involve 3 sound companies to do that same one brief. Why did I involve 3 sound companies to do that same one brief? I make sure that I have sound equipment outside the stadium so that there's no crowd stampede, so that everybody that can hear, everybody that can see from outside is done. That is one sound company's brief. Now, I collapsed 2 companies together to do the indoor for me, both the 4 delays and a left, right system. By the time I'm actually checking the senator mic early in the morning around 4 a.m., do you know that the man was around? He wants to hear the sound before the main event by 9 a.m. And by the time I actually put the mic at my chest, and I was telling the guy on the board some frequency it needs to get away so that we don't have feedback. And by the time I checked the mic, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, the man called me and he gave me a full handshake. I said, wow. Then the next thing I said, sir, I'm actually celebrating your inauguration as the next governor. He laughed. Now, that unperformed handshake was very real. He could call another person when they have a sound problem. But the time will come, he will just say, I gave that guy a handshake one time for what he did. Please let me call him on this brief. Now, that is very, very key. Now, take time to build. And it also is very quick to break. I can trust you now. And if your character or something happened, I get me, it's very quickly to break. Now, what are those things you need to be careful so that you don't have your trust doubted or dented? Number 1, sensitivity. Sensitivity goes a long way. When you get to a place, understand the language, understand the code, understand the signs, understand the symbols. Smile, no matter what. Always put on a smiling face. It goes well. You have to be very careful, comfortable, sound check. I use the word careful and comfortable sound check. You know, if an artist performed during sound check and the sound check is sweet, do you know what they will do? Please, who's that engineer? Just want to know who makes him happy during sound check. It goes a very long way, especially if you are doing festival. Please. Now, engineer, we need to have one thing that can actually destroy us. Fondly, some guys, if they set and it's balanced, you to dance. Your console is your own equipment. After you have played, leave it. Stop fiddling. By the time you start fiddling, and you change setting, or your hand went to go and press a record or something on the digital board, I pray you never experience it. That's my prayer. Please, let us learn that. Then, band, always remember the experience, not the setting. Do you hear that? Band or the musician, always remember the experience you gave them and not the setting. Did they enjoy it? Will they call you again? That goes a long way. Now, establish your honest credential. I will talk about this, about what is your skill level, which is part of B, your skill factors. Earlier, remember I said skills are key, but are not king. Now, your skill level also goes a long way. Because for an audio engineer, I think I always say 3 things. Break it down in another way. You can never miss it. Go to Australia, go to Brazil, go to UK, go to America. It's the same thing we'll do. And it will never stop. Number 1 is this: solid training. Anywhere you can get training, get it. Make sure it is solid. You can go for exhibition, you can go for trade show, you can go for seminar, or a person is launching a product, or sometimes you can just wake up in the morning and go to Alaba International and just say, I want to hear this sound. I want to how does this speaker work? Why is it sounding like this? Why is it sounding like this? How much is this speaker? How much is that? Indirectly, you are adding value to yourself. You are giving yourself training. Now, the other second thing that you must not joke with is the area of creative thinking. I will share this from Asha experience. The first time Asha was signed by a French label company, they told her, your own is not to handle band or artists or this. That's our job. You just take your keyboard, go to an environment, relax, create music. When you are in the right ambience, in the right environment, in a peace environment, ideas will come. Creativity comes that way. You have to think creatively. Now, also, the final thing, which is the third one, is called careful practice. You've done solid training, you have been creative in your thinking. Now, how do you practicalize it? How do you establish that? Now, there's one thing you should know. I don't argue with an unskilled musician. It's like you are trying to force an elephant inside a needle. Oh, there are some people don't argue with them because it is very obvious. They can dent your career. They can make life difficult for you. Then, unskilled engineer is very obscured. Please, let's step up our game. Then I also said trust goes both ways. Bank needs to trust you. Then another thing we should also define is the FOH. Don't dictate. Let them direct every issue to monitor engineers. You understand? Most times it goes a long way that way. Then the fourth, I'm writing up with this on personnel. Personnel, we are looking at the real need for the people who for all this are knowledgeable, available, and willing. Now, there's three things we should learn as a personnel, which has to do with our structure. Number one is the issue of knowledgeable, which means that we are teachable, we are available, and we are also willing to learn, which is very good. Then build the right team. You know, one tree does not make a forest. I didn't say group. Don't build group. Build the right team. Quality team goes a long way. Now, team dynamics, very, very vital. One wrong individual can create a dysfunctional team. Just one person in your team that feels that he knows too much, he does things without not telling others. Because some of the things we do as an audio engineer, you are working with different set of people. The event planner, you are working with the stage manager, you are working with the technical director. All together is very key. Now, right people are more important than good skill. I mentioned that. It's good to have the right people among you in your team. A person might be very skillful, and that person might like to work alone and now put everybody under stress. Until when the guys finish, you can't do anything. Please, bright people are more important than good skill. Then people who understand their job. Like what I try to do now is if somebody coming for an event, I look at the event. If I have the right set of team available, I can actually coordinate such. I'll just tell the person, sorry, why not give it to a company that has the capacity to give you stage, light, perimeter lights, also aluminum barricade, and do the stage and the ground support for you, and also the LED screen. Then you have taken more stress off your head. Then it gives them more power to negotiate. Because trying to build the right team goes a long way. Like Debbie mentioned about Ebenezer. If Ebenezer is not quite his character, how can he gather people like that in House on the Rock over time? And they've been running experience. Now, I'm talking about preparation. Then learn your craft and know yourself. This is very, very key. Like, for example, now, you might be good as an FOH engineer. You might be good as a monitor mix engineer. You might be good as an RF coordinator. When show is going on, you are the one in charge of talkback. You are the one in charge of the radio mics. You are the one in charge of the IAN. There are other things you can do so that all of us are not learning the same thing. That's why learn your craft. What are you good at? Is it broadcast mixing you are good at? Are you good on waves? Are you good on the Fourier transformer with Digico? Are you good with a clan integration system? Please, I want to say this on learning your craft. I will tell everybody on this group, if you have Android and Apple phone, go and download Clang. I hope Clang app. Clang is spelled as K-N-A-N-G app. Somebody can help me put it there. You need to download that because that is the future of IAM. You can have immersive within your head structure. You can decide to put the keyboard here at the center of your head. At the back of your neck, you can put the bass guitar there. There's a demo version. If you download it after this seminar, just put it on your headphone and demonstrate with it. That's the future of the IAM. Yeah, I'm not marketing for Clang, but ever since I've laid my hand on it 4 years ago, it has always been my best IAM I used. Thank you. When budget allows. Now, engineers are top of production. You are the top of that production. And what? At the bottom of the food chain. At least when everybody is eating, everybody is enjoying, they will not consider you. Please. Then, Tory versus hired engineer. We need to prepare more. Imagine you are going to a different country, a different zone, or you are going to Ghana, for example. Do you need to prepare more? An hired engineer. Then we talk about the right tools. The right tools we talk about here has to do with your skill. Are you at peace with everybody? Can you easily gather people together and tell them the way it is? And you can also move on. Now, let's just quickly talk about consoles. My console parameter is always divided in this 3 ways. I'm looking at efficiency, I'm looking at comfort, I'm looking at speed. Please, any console in the world, whether it is $2 billion or it is $1 million or it is $200, all of them are doing the same function. They gather all the inputs, you blend it together, and you send an output. That's what they are doing. But what will determine which one I'm using for this particular event depends on, number one, the efficiency, the comfort, and the speed. Now, let's talk about FOH. FOH, most times you look at the channel count, your gain stage. We look at compression. Let me tell you what I found out. Most guys that mixes very good with Grammy Award winning, they don't have too much EQ. They will just make sure they got the right preamp level out, which is called the unity gain, and determine that, okay, my sonic signature for this music character, I have my bass, I have my kick that have a light dynamic. I want them to be at -10. I want the vocal to be at -6. Not everybody eating 0 dB, because everything will still add up together and still give you results. If you understand what they call timbres, you can understand, okay, this is the fundamental tone of this particular instrument. A little bit of high pass or a low pass will solve your problem. If you make the console green, the system will be happy. That's about FOH. Let's talk about monitors. Monitors has to do with more inputs and mixes. Then the last thing I'm talking about on personnel has to do with recce. At least if you can't visit a particular place ahead of time, get an information online or find somebody within that zone that can help you to go and visit. I remember those days when I was working with PV as application support for West Africa. At least having everybody come down to Lagos for training for 1 week in Muson and also at Oriental hotels. We keep information of people. Sometimes I don't need to be there. I'll just call, bros, are you there? Are you free? Please send me your account number. I've sent 10K. Let me just go to this church, go to this site. Let me snap this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Before I leave, I've gotten all the information I need. Please, Reiki is very important, which is sometimes you are scoping your FOA's position. Like we Nigerians, we do more of church-based thing. Like sooner or later, the political rally will need you. We need our industry. How available we are. Because when it comes to political gathering, you are looking at security, how to protect your equipment, how to protect yourself. And for safety. Please, your record is very important. I guess I'll just chip in something on that area. I don't know how many of you are using Shure. They
Okay.
use. Sinesa
Yeah.
have their own. Yeah, Sinesa have their own. Sure. What?
Okay, your network. We're having issues with your network, sir. We're having issues with your network.
For example,
Okay,
is stored in the database of Sure.
okay.
You can.
Okay, we're having issue with your network. Please let everyone be patient with him. You know Nigeria now.
Connect on the workbench are a bit more expensive.
Okay, we've been having little issues with your network, sir. We've been having issues with your network.
Okay.
When you mentioned Shaw, repeat from Shaw. Repeat what
Okay,
you said
Sure.
from
Okay.
Shaw. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I said for RF coordination, when I'm actually talking about Reiki, what you have done over time, 4 years I was involved with in that research, is the area of your RF coordination with the workbench. That means that if I have, let's say, 12 wireless system and I've done a coordination.
Oh, network again. Please, let's be patient. He's still going to repeat himself because we need to get this information.
Which is telling you the frequency that will not interfere in this particular area as at this particular time. Now, indirectly, is a research-based software that Shure is doing now. Sooner or later, they will release another upgrade that you can enjoy. I don't know how many of you that have actually understand Accent Digital. Accent Digital is for the premium market. Now, if I say for the premium market in the sense that you buy a transmitter and a mic, just the mic will.
Sorry, he's running up very soon.
Yeah, you have a dual. I'm running up on the RF area.
Okay, sir.
Then you have a dual transmitter that is running simultaneously. Then you also have a wireless show link technology that communicates that this frequency is available now. If that frequency will interfere, the system will communicate to your receiver and auto sync by itself without you syncing it. You will not even know that it has switched. Those are the advantage of Shure Accent Digital. Now, the lower version you can talk about is the ULXD. The ULXD, for example, you have to sync that one manually. But what Shure is trying to do is that, for example, now if I'm in Agege, I'm running a show, and I have some Shure devices, and I put them on the network, I can run an RF coordination on it. Why am I saying this? The government SEC is not bothered about our industry. I remember in Spain, we have to pay for a license of that frequency to use for a particular time. But in Nigeria, the government is not looking at it, for example, how they can make money on RF coordination. I remember when Visa phone frequency was released.
Okay.
Even I have a lot of ULXT that period, the mic stopped working. Now
I'm
everybody
sorry.
is now moving away from 800 Spectrum.
Yes. We're moving to a sofa zone now, as in 500, 600.
See,
More
you know
safer.
that
Okay.
we have not been discussing about money, how to make money, how to do this, but we need to conclude on this pattern. You can make money through RF. If everybody is doing a digital mixer and this thing, you can just start RF coordination and make your money clean in an event. I remember I have some friend in DSS after working with the presidency. We have to become friends.
Okay. The words of friendship. Okay, why is he trying to get his network? Let me just be
Big
filling it up.
elephant,
Okay.
elephant in the room. Now, I will conclude with this, which is the best sound engineer are people who are musicians. They play any instrument or they know about instruments. This, however, does not mean that every musician know how to mix or understand Sony signature. Thank you very much for your time.
Wow. That's really educative. Can we just give him our virtual claps again? If you know that he has really put in some knowledge into you, or is an input to your knowledge today, please let's give him some virtual claps. Yes, I'm seeing 3 claps. 3 claps. One more. I need more claps, though. We are plenty. We are more than 20 here. If you know he has
Wow.
added to your knowledge, there was one time we were like 50
Wow.
something. I think network is having issues with everybody. If you have a question, please drop it. Just write it as a chat. Put it as a chat if you have a question. I also have my own personal contribution. One of the things that really
Okay.
helped me when I was with, I was the one that supervised during the time of Fashola's, when he was the governor of Lagos State, as in for 6 years. I
Yeah.
was the one that was able to help him with his sound. One of the things I told my crew member was that you can never be too early to work. Because I
Yeah.
remember during that time, there's always commissioning from one place to another. And the guys will say that, we got there around 9 o'clock. The governor came around 3 o'clock. I said, that is your office that day. So your office is not in the office. Your office is on the field. So it is never too early for you to arrive at a venue. So if engineers can also add this to their structure, or what one of their to do or what they should be expecting is that you can never be too early to work. The field is your workplace. So you can never be too early to get to work. And again, one of the things that also helped, I'm sharing my own, which I know that really helped, is that
Yeah.
whenever you are with your team members, use the list of, let me say, you always have your interns and some other people. The least active guy should be the head of your team. The least active guy should be the head of your team, because he's the one that can put a tab on everybody because he's least active. So that will be able to make you to be, you understand, to be productive. You're not looking at somebody else, because the least of the guy in your team knows what everybody is doing, because he's aware of what everybody is doing. So he or she knows how to put a tab on everybody, or try to watch every other person's back. He's the one watching against theft. He's the one watching against, oh, okay, you need this thing. He's the one watching against, this is the time, this is the high time. Part of your technical rider should be some refreshment. Don't make your technical rider not to be some refreshment, like such as water. He's the one that even can be sensitive to know that, oh, I think I need to give this man a tom-tom. Because he knows that you are the one that is going, people are going to be coming very close to you to talk to you. And at a point, a lot of times, the more you close your mouth, the more you have mouth odor. It is the technical guy, it is the list of the guy who is the head of the team, will be able to know when to share the tom-tom to everybody or something to refresh you. He's the guy that can also monitor your back. And again, I think, let's talk about theft. People talk about cable missing and all that. no matter how part of your crew members, you should know somebody among your crew members. Is either you employ a storekeeper or you use part of your crew members, giving him a new portfolio to be a storekeeper. At the venue, one of the things I know about whenever I want to disseminate, when we want to start our setup, before we leave the office, everybody knows what they are going to do. If you are the head of FOH, head of the monitors, head of any other places, you start up with everybody. And once everybody start up, you should know when you should stop what you are doing and leave it to the other people and go straight to your desk. Because you only help them to start up. And the next thing, you should know, okay, this is the stage, I need to go straight to my desk. At the first of it, it's not the time that you begin to gist. Because like now, like what engineer Wale said, he said he did not even know that the owner, the person that owns the event was even at the event. You don't know who is watching at that particular time. Some people get to the venue and that is when they remember one gist. Don't you remember this person? No. Once you get, that is one of the things, you're working with speed, you're working with time. Don't say that we have enough time. No. Work like you're working. Once you get to the venue, act as if you are just 2 minutes to start up of the event. Immediately start working. Everybody is posted. It is better you work early and rest than you begin to work under pressure. Get there early and begin to do what you're supposed to do. And again, one of the things that really help, okay, let's go back to the theft thing. When you are striking down, like me, when we are striking down, I've already assigned who will go for the microphones, who will go for the cables, who will go for this. So immediately we are striking down. The person going for microphone knows he or herself. He goes straight for the microphones. He begins to go after microphones, because if that is your issue, people steal microphones. Everybody, you assign somebody to quickly collect the microphones and go and put it in a safe place. There is always a driver inside the car. Don't leave the microphone on site. Immediately move the microphone straight to the driver. Like, let me give you a scenario. I went to an event with my guys during the time of Fashola, and we went to the event at Museum Center. And when we got back, I made sure there is accountability immediately. Okay, there's something I've already drafted too. You must have things that you have drafted that people, your guys will be able to give you feedback immediately. It's not a long thing. We are technical people. They don't like writing. So what I did was that okay, let me go to where I put it. What I did was I put date, event, feedback. The feedback aspect is you don't need to write more. Just write satisfactory. Fair. Once I see fair, I know that I'm going to call for a meeting. That what really happened. That's all I just need. You must able to have that is it higher education or this hardcover something. There are 3 of them that I know I have for my feedback. I have one for that. The least person that is heading the group must always be the one responsible for your feedback. You must always get your feedback and check it. And the one for the stock keeping, immediately they came back. The storekeeper might not do it immediately, but at the venue, he knows the stock. Some people say that, okay, I cannot keep, okay, we are drawing our technical rider. This is an urgent stuff. We cannot begin to count here. I'll tell the storekeeper or whoever that can take stock or the least person there, follow them. When you get to the venue, as they are picking it, be counting it. Don't joke with your stock keeping. Even on site, as they are picking them, you are the least person among all of them. Make sure you put a tab on it. I remembered I worked with them. I worked for 6 years. And when I did my stock keeping after 6 years, even the screwdriver was part of what was accounted for, and it was not missing. There was nothing missing. Accountability aspect of it. People need to understand accountability aspect. The accountability aspect is that everybody is watching the next person. Okay, back to the motion stuff. We later discovered some of our microphones were missing. On my own, I told everybody we are all going to pay for it. They thought I was joking. I told the accountant, deduct this amount of money from everybody's salary and deduct more from my own salary. They were all, I said, check my own salary too. I deducted from it. No, now when they saw that they all paid for the microphones, everybody was watching each other's back. Everybody was watching each other's back that, no, you can't steal it because I will not steal it. You can't steal it because I am not going to pay for it. So everybody was watching each other's back. So that helped me with accountability in my department. So I can tell you there was zero theft because nobody was going to steal it and nobody is going to permit any other person to steal it because nobody's going to pay for anybody to pay for anything. At the end of the day, we thank God that Muson was able to now help us get the microphone. When we got back the microphone, I told the accountant, pay everybody back. But at least that was a check for everybody to know that you cannot be slack in what you're doing. And again, another aspect of sound, and this field is very wild. Try and see where your other passion lies. A lot of live sound engineers, a lot of recording engineers, there are other field in this sound engineering that is also lucrative, or maybe you can also, let me use the name, I don't want to begin to use some terms, that you can also, you understand, earn a living from. It is not just about live sound. There's broadcast. Very few people are in broadcast. That is why whenever there's a broadcast services in Nigeria, there are few people they call. Very, very few people they call for broadcast. What are you doing? You should be able to go into broadcast. There's film. There's also aspect of the aspect I really love at the end of the day is this artifact, sound design, that you can be able to design sound. And all these aspects, they pay people that are there. So don't limit yourself to some aspects. You need to do your habit audit. What are the things that I know I made mistake last year that I don't want to make a mistake this year? I'm going to share, I might not be able to share everything because what engineer Wale Benjamin has done a whole lot of this aspect. Knowing how to take stock out of your crew member. If you cannot employ a crew member, find a crew member that you can just add a little to his money. Anybody that is going to take a stock at that particular time, don't change your storekeeper. And today is Tunde, tomorrow is Wale. It will not account. Your storekeeping is not going to balance. Make one person your storekeeper and make sure that you check your storekeeping. Catch them unawares when they are doing storekeeping. Don't say that me one day I can just enter the store and I'll just say, I once worked with Adidas when I finished secondary school. And when I worked at Adidas, immediately one person is signing out, another person is signing in. And there's some rubber shoes got missing. Do you know, on the spot, within 20 minutes, they found who stole the rubber shoe? Because there was accountability. So there was no lapses. So if you want to reduce your theft thing, close those lapses. Now let's talk about churches that are losing things. They said do not put, what did they talk about? Churches losing equipment. There are a whole lot. Okay, Mr. Wale, I want you to talk about a little about churches that are losing their gears and what they can actually do on their gears. Let me just say let me just contribute a little on my own side. Is that do not cast a pearl, you understand, before swine. If you are trying to imitate people that have it in their churches, they have insurance too. And they also have every security in place. You watch them abroad and you love the instrument that they are using to score this particular song. When you procure them, don't be a waster of church members' money by purchasing them and you are not insuring them. Don't be a waster of resources. When you purchase them, put every other check in place. That is where the scripture comes in. Don't cast a pearl before swine. You know the locality that you are. You went to rent room and parlor. You are putting 4 ACs in that room and parlor. In an environment that you know that people find it difficult to eat. I'm telling you, thieves are going to come and they are going to, you are inviting thieves. You are renting a room and parlor and you have 4 ACs, everything is facing outside where there is no fence. You are parking a Range Rover outside and you are saying you are not inviting people. You understand? You are not inviting people that they are not well fed to your vicinity, it is a lie. So, Mr. Waleoni, please kindly contribute to this aspect, then we can gradually
Okay.
call it a day.
Sorry. In the area of the theft, we can't
Yes.
solve it. It's the thing we can manage because the honest truth of the matter is we can put structure modalities in place. Number one thing I used to recommend to my clients after they bought any equipment more than millions of naira, I will tell them, let them have a comprehensive insurance on those items, which is against theft, against fire. I remember a Baptist church that called me for a seminar, and I have to now explain to them. You bought a church bus, Tokumbo. Is it not insured? Whether third party or comprehensive? They said yes. Now, the aspect of that is very critical. Then let the church organization always employ the security outfits that has insurance on them. Not all security outfits have this, so that they are responsible for any theft, and their insurance company can cover that. Then another thing you can do that can disperse, it doesn't catch criminal, but it can show their faces or show who they are, is to install CCTV cameras. A way. And the way people install cameras now are much very sophisticated. People will not know there's a camera there. Than for the one that people will see. You understand? You can keep it somewhere, they can create an artifact and the camera is there and people will not even know. Thank God for this AI of a camera of a thing that people are now using now. They can even put the camera somewhere and the person can see it. Another thing I always do for most expensive equipment, there's this kind of GPS bug that you can put, that people put in cars to know, this is the last time our car is, or we saw it in the lorry before they butcher it. You can put it inside some of those equipments so that when it is stolen, just like the way your iPhone or
Can be
your
like
iPhone watch works
trackers,
is.
like putting a tracker. Yeah.
Putting tracker. I will recommend anybody buying montage, even used one, 4 million naira, used keyboard or expensive one. How much is the tracker? It's very cheap. Buy it on Temu. You can put it inside. Even the repairer will not know that it's inside. Because if somebody know that it is inside, tell them, they have GPS tracker inside this one you have taken, or remove it. You understand? Those are those ways we can use to manage and do that. Thank you.
Okay, another last thing I'm going to talk about is teamwork. You made somebody the head of your team. And yet, when you need information, you go to the subordinate. You're not doing what is right. You're disorganizing your team. If you need any vital information, you go to who you were sure of being made the head of your team. You are the one to help them coordinate the team. You are not to disorganize the team and cause strife. When you begin to call a subordinate to ask more questions to, do you think he will be loyal to the head of that team? No. Coordinate your team. Let them know that I work in an organization that even when we see our boss passing, we cannot call him and ask him a question. If we need to ask our boss a question, we'll go to the head of our team to ask our boss that question, the head of our team members, so that he will help us ask our boss. And yet our boss is before us and we are playing with our boss, but we cannot. Because why can't you? Because he will not ask you the question he needs to ask the head of your team. If there's anything he's asking you is, how are you? Are you fine? How is work today? Are you achieving? And in the process of saying that, if you just try and make a mistake to ask, you tell you, okay, tell your head to get back to me. It will help you enroute it, rechannel it back to that. That is how it works. Don't disorganize. Okay, I work in another organization that I taught this system to. And one way or the other, the boss was trying to do more than himself. And was trying to call one of my subordinates to ask him about this and that. And the next thing the person told him that, sir, I don't know about this information. While he knows about the information, please, could you kindly ask Miss Debby about it? The guy on his own, enroute it and make sure that the boss goes back to it. If you begin to say, yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know, you are disorganizing it. If the head doesn't know how to organize it, the person who assigned the head of the team, who assigned it, doesn't know how to keep organizing it, then the subordinates should not scatter it. I thought my subordinates, you must have a relationship with them too. It's not like now they want the system to work, but you as the head of the group of the crew, you're not making the system work. You're oppressing your subordinates. You're not giving them their due right. It is going to scatter. You must, as the head of a particular department, you must always have a meeting with your subordinates or maybe your crew member or your team members. You must have a meeting with them, know their welfare. If you know that some of the things you want to buy outside, you can assign it to them too, so that they can have some little things in their pocket. That was one of the things I did. I will tell you, there was one time I told one guy, I saw the salary was not enough. I told him, come, do you know how to make cables? He said, no. I said, this is where they sell cables. I'm going to give you the money to go and buy the cables. When he added to the money, I knew the profit he was making. I was not telling him that, please now, can you sell these cables to me at this particular amount? When the guy was like, come on, calm down, calm down. I know the amount they are selling the cables. I was the one that assigned the duties to you. The guy said, auntie, you don't catch me. I said, yes, I've caught you. And since then, I know where I'm sending cables. It's not like I don't know where I buy cables. If you feel that all the profits should come to you, you are very selfish. As in, you are too selfish. All the profits, everything should come to you. Abba, take it easy. Until date, the places I have worked.
Sorry, can I share something?
Okay,
Can I
sir.
just chip in
Yes,
something?
sir. Yes, sir.
I discovered something many years back. Nigerians, that is why for now it's very shameful, and I know it's not going to be in our generation, the association of a thing that can happen. You see, building communities, only few of us like that. You see, people, the elderly ones, I can't blame them. They grew up in a generation that until when you serve somebody, you will serve that person, just because you want to learn. But you know what? Internet has made everything broad. You have access to ebook, informations. Unlike before, it's one person that has one book that is holding it. And everybody will now be doing yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Now, what I'm trying to bring out from that place is that until when we become selfless and think of the whole picture, that if Debby is making per annum, if Debby is making 2 million naira in this industry, and I'm making 5 million naira per annum in this industry, why can't we come together and create a platform that we can take the lion's share? I will end with
And
this.
share it.
The budget of Nigeria is over 4 trillion naira. How many million is coming to our industry? But shall I shock you guys? There's a multi-billion, I use that word, multi-billion dollar investment in Nigeria. And that place is Alaba International Market. Take it or you leave it. TikTok, they've come to research. How are they doing it? What kind of mechanism of Asag Malga, after Sagi Malga is set to me? I develop my own. That is what you call growth. Those are those things that we need to look at. Selflessness. Until when we are not selfless, we can just say, one broom I can break, a branch I can break. But you see, one thing I tell you, those branches must be the same mentality, the same thinking.
That's just
Until
it.
they come
Same
together.
mentality. Thank you.
Same
Thank you.
structure. Just
Thank
like what we
you.
discussed today now. If you notice, you guys, we're not discussing technical matters.
No, we
We
are
are
not. We
talking things that
intentionally
have
not
to do,
discuss that.
we
Yeah.
are talking things that have to do with your attitude towards work, your attitude towards yourself. How do you maintain peace? When there's peace, there's progress. How do you manage crisis? Like I will end with this. I met a friend recently. Though we've been at loggerhead at distance. I learned the word peace from my situation. I will end with this scenario. That's my own definition of peace. When you have a little baby sleeping, around that baby, there's warfare, there's fighting, there's stealing, there's killing. Name any bad thing you want to mention around that baby, and that baby is still sleeping. All those, what is happening around, do not disturb that person. That is my own definition of peace. As we started this 2026,
26.
work work on yourself,
Yes.
develop yourself. Sorry, can you
Mm-hmm.
everything I shared with you, you can't get it from any books.
No.
These are the things that have made me to stand before kings. I've worked for like 4 presidents. I'm consulting for another president outside Nigeria at the moment with a consortium of friends that said, Wole, we need you. Let me share your personal experience. 2017, one person you just need to be very good, work on relationship with somebody. 2012, my friend Chico was working with NLK. NLK happens to be the third largest sword distributor in the world. Is in Dubai, NLK. The guy came and he trained me on Midas, and I was good on Midas console. And our first project was Experience 2012. I remember 2011, no, 2013 was the one Boko Haram, and they had it at the hotel. Yeah, 2012.
Okay. We'll be rounding
I
up by
remember.
3, everybody.
Yeah,
Don't worry. By
yeah,
3,
yeah. That
we'll be out
that
of here.
2012, we worked together. We did this a lot. He said, "Wale, you smell nice. Wale, you are this, you are that." I'm always coming to class early. But this is a guy that had a flu, and I noticed that his religion do not allow him to eat some things, and do not put no back with the mercy. I was his best friend. I called him. I said, "I have a tea. Oh. This is a green tea. Oh. Do you want the raw one or you want the processed one? I have a processed one from Germany I can give you." And I gave him. The next morning, the next class, the guy was happy. All his flu gone. Everything was okay. He said, "Ben, thank you." But you know the funny thing about it? I noticed that he doesn't eat some plants because he worship them, some animal, but he eats some lettuce, some garbage. And I told him that, do you know that those garbage and lettuce you are eating are also living things? He said, "Ben, you got me on that." We became friends. But let me tell you, at 2012, after 5 years later, his colleagues in Shure wanted to come to Nigeria independently to come and investigate and transfer dealership from Goma to another person they are looking for. Ask me, who did they contact in Nigeria?
You, sir.
They contact 3 of us.
Okay.
Out of the 3 of us they contacted, it was only me that did something different. What did I do? They called for a meeting at Edison Blue. On my way down, I dropped at a bookshop. I bought a book. Who moved the cheese?
Ah. So, yeah.
I gave the guy. The guy was amazed. I said, "You want to move a cheese in Nigeria? That a lot of counterfeit is there." I told the video, they show microphone, 1,000 naira, 1,002. He laughed.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, I will end with this. What am I bringing up from there? I was one that returned back to the airport. Along the line, another dealer was trying to maneuver and double cross. When it discovered that I was the one, so when they bring these people to me now, bring them to me now, I said, okay, they say you have gone to meet them in South Africa, that they don't want to deal with you. Because nobody can recommend, nobody can say, this person is this. Please, this year, let's work on ourselves. Let's
Yes,
develop
sir.
a kind of a personal structure that we can value people for who they are as human beings. Don't just say this one, ele, I will chop your head finish. You don't know
Yes, sir.
the job that person is bringing for you again.
Yes,
But
sir.
that first experience you did for him, you say, that brother, that sister, I can never deal with him.
Thank you,
There's
sir.
something I learned from the Alaba market. When you earn somebody's trust with honesty, it will come back and more business will come. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Mm.
Okay, lastly, on my own, while he was talking, I didn't want to forget some things. Build with right people. Don't build with colleagues that you know that they are self-centered, and watch the right people that you build with. Watch the senior colleague you call your mentor. I'm going to say it all out. Watch the senior colleague you call your mentor. It's very, very important that so that you don't begin to bite your fingers and you begin to cry wolf, wolf. Some of them are still trying to look for how they can be relevant in the industry. So when you are sharing your ideas and when you are trying to Just watch where you are laying your head so you lay it right. And again, pull back when there is too much rivalry. Pull back. That is not the team you are supposed to be with. And the last one, don't let anybody pull you down. If you are solving a problem, whether you are using an analog gear to solve a problem or a digital gear to solve a problem, don't let anybody to pull you down because you are still using your analog gear or you are solving a problem. There is no problem that is, all problems are called problems. It is all that will begin to say this is small problem, this is big problem. If you can solve 4 people's problem using your gears, you're solving a problem. And you deserve to be called that name. The only thing is that you don't deserve to be called a sound engineer is that I don't even see why you don't deserve to be called sound engineer when you're already solving what sound engineers are solving. So don't let anybody pull you down. The only thing is that just keep developing yourself, improve yourself, so that if you have solved 10 problems, you should be able to solve 20 problems. You should be able to solve 30 problems. So don't let anybody begin to say that you are not a sound engineer, you are not this one, you are not that one, because you are still you're not yet using some sophisticated equipment. As long as you are solving problems in your locality, I am pleased to meet you, and I will call you the name we call our own self. The only thing is that improve yourself and diversify in the industry where you have passion, not where there is money, where you have passion and where you can sustain.
Sorry, I remember something. Thank you for saying that. I
Yeah.
want to chip in something. Your mentor is meant to use you and use you until when he can't use you again. That is a learning curve for some of us today. You understand? Every style your mentor want to use to, just like Omoto Kosheni. Sorry, I have to use my words, my native, my mother's tongue. The Oga will not expose everything to you until your freedom day. Every bad thing they have done to you is a raw material
To be used
for
later,
where you
but
are
not for
going.
other people.
Whether good or bad, either way, we're all different. But just forgive and go on. That's one. Then, secondly, before the third, I will be 50 in few days, in few months' time.
And you are
And
just clocking 50.
yes, very
Ah,
few months' time, a few months' time. And
wow.
for my birthday gift, I want to celebrate 50 people
That's
to
nice.
learn RF coordination for free.
Please, this is very interesting. We have a WhatsApp group
Hold on.
that we use to
Okay, I
coordinate
know.
that. Yeah.
You can put that there. The reason why I say so is this. I don't know
Okay.
anybody that has a pen and biro there because I've seen a gold mine. Let me tell you what is happening globally now. Why is America after Greenland? It's not for security.
So don't let's go
It's
to
not for
politics, please.
security.
Please.
No, 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 no. I'm not talking
Don't
about
let's
it,
go to
but
that
no, no, no.
aspect.
I'm just using
Yes,
that.
sir.
I'm just using that to tell you what America is looking for in Greenland is the mineral in that land that is going to be used for AI technology. All those chips that you see. I don't know whether many guys know about Navida, about all those things. You understand? Now, the same thing I want to do for my 50th birthday is this RF coordination. We can look at it as RF coordination. But underneath
Coordinations.
it, yeah, I don't know whether anybody know about this product, AMX audio.
Star. It's
I
coming
have
too.
used,
Yeah.
no. I've used a Pado antenna that has 4 receiver attached to it. You don't need to carry receiver. You just have a Pado antenna that has 4 receiver attached to it. It's a multi-coil cable that also power those devices. In South America, I've used what they call RF venue. I don't know whether many of you know about that product line. You could Google
Yeah.
it.
We have
RF
6
venue.
minutes. We have 1 minute, Star.
RF
Because
venue
I know you have lots of information to
that you can
share.
do. Yeah, that's that. I need 50 people that I want to teach RF coordination so that what America is looking for in Greenland, we can get it in the audio industry.
Okay,
Let's look
sure.
at it in that way.
Yeah.
Now, then, thirdly, every product I've mentioned in this Zoom meeting,
Yes,
I
sir.
take a disclaimer. I don't represent any brand. I'm a freelance guy. If it is a product like Sandmark or Arsenic or D-Bass that can solve people's problem and their pocket is happy, I'm after. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is the
Yeah.
time we need to drop the curtain. We are on
Yeah.
YouTube in case you need to rewatch it. Facebook, you can't have us after 1 month, Facebook brings down the every broadcast. So we have it on YouTube. So anytime you need to rewatch, you can go to YouTube and rewatch again. Thanks so much for your time. We'll bring in more product
Thank
reviews
you.
and bring in more interesting colleagues as engineer Wale Benjamin. I
Yeah.
don't know why I keep saying
Thank you.
Wale Benjamin. Can we just appreciate him again? Because he has really shared a lot
Yeah.
and given us another opportunity to have time with him. 50 people. How are we
Yeah.
going to select that? Join our group. We have a
Yeah.
YouTube and we have a WhatsApp group. And again, if you have more questions, join the WhatsApp group. I can't address any question here now. Join the WhatsApp group.
They're
Mr.
probably for
Wale
Belgium.
Benjamin.
No, sorry. For RF coordination, it's only for Nigerian people, not for those in
Nigeria,
Belgium. And Nigerian
Belgium.
people, please, Belgium, you're
Okay,
already
so
settled.
Nigeria, oh, not Belgium, not Belgium people. And some
So
of
somebody
the
from
some of our
Belgium.
senior
Yeah.
colleagues too, some of our senior colleagues also wishes us Happy New Year. I'll be playing them in the next broadcast, next Zoom webinar we are going to have. Thanks for your
Okay.
time. I can't
Thank you,
appreciate
thank
you
you,
all
thank you,
enough.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you,
I
thank you,
am
thank you,
so
thank you.
grateful.
Adios, amigo.
I
Hi.
can
Yeah.
appreciate your time and again sparing your data to join us on this Zoom webinar. It has sure been a great time together. And I wish and I also pray that I can always have your attention anytime we call. Thanks for your time. Goodbye and catch us again next time. Thank you.